You have cracks underneath your feet. That sensation of defeat that chills to the bone when you realize when you look around that you're all alone. So yeah, it tears down your confidence. And I've been trying to rebuild. And this moment alone is my first step uphill. But before anything, I needed somebody to dedicate this bout to, because there's no doubt in my mind that this poem ain't even about you. So please forgive me. Okay.
Wow, that was one I didn't ever heard before. And Brandon forgot his CDs, but Brandon and I are on the same CD here in Josie Ensemble, where we're doing a combination of singing and poetry. So, and these pictures, this is the man who started gospel music and daughter and granddaughter, because Alex's his granddaughter is my mentor, and we learned all this music. So hopefully you guys can check it out. And the poems I'm doing are from my CD called An Infinite Love Story. And this is a poem about a very specific person. We all, have grandmas, right? Yeah, and one of my favorite people in the world was my grandma, and we called her Big Mama. Not Martin Lawrence's Big Mama's house. I hate that he did that to such a beautiful name in our community, where Big Mama is somebody who's very special, and he did Big Mama's house. And man, that's like more than everyone else. So this is the hands of with Big Mama. Big Mama had some beautiful hands. They were old, swollen, arthritic, and weathered hands. Her heart and veins seemed like branches of rivers flowing through her aching sore and fragile hands. They were never manicured and sometimes covered with manure, backwoods country hands. They were scarred from cotton picking, corn shucking, and chicken plucking. Yes, Big Mama had some beautiful hands. Big Mama's hands never struck me. With the gentle word of comfort, her hands would caress me. They never scolded me, but only on a few occasions they were able to hold me. Now, our mamas told us that we couldn't call their mama Mama. So the grandkids named Esmeralda Johnson Patrick Big Mama. She was the smallest in physical stature, but rose above us all in spiritual understanding. With pain eyes and a grateful heart, she could ease the most tense moments with the slightest moan of a tune that only she knew. But I could sit back and listen and wait for the stories to follow. The stories were like water, and I was a seed, and I could feel myself grow. The lines were written all over her face and hands, just those homemade iced tea making, chicken frying, breakfast for a king cooking hands. Oh man, Big Mama had some beautiful hands. Child delivering hands, praying hands, Bible thumping, Jesus praising, 12 children nursing, never heard her cursing, white glove wearing hands. Dead son holding, dying husband dragging, deceased mother dressing, but always professing and confessing hands. I grew up admiring those hands. I loved to touch them and feel the power of her blood pumping life into me. I could never tell if the transfer was literally or metaphorically, but I felt the magic. I received the gift to lift and elevate my fate to being truly a part of the ancestors. For 88 years, Big Mama labored in this vineyard on this plantation with no explanation for the affliction that afflicted her for the final 9 years. But her eyes spoke with a clarity and sincerity that's as powerful today as it was yesterday. For 88 years, she toiled in the Mississippi heat, muddied by the red soil colored with American dreams of owning her own home, of not being left alone, of wanting her family by her side. She wanted to find her piece of peace in a society that would judge her as an old black woman widowed with young mouths to feed. For 88 years, she was the solid rock to a family that scattered to the lakes and oceans to escape a land that historically hated us. On November 17, 1993, the angel was granted her angelic wings. and flung them against the wind, finding a freedom known only to those whose weary souls have found rest. Those who confess with the mouth and heart receive favor by the Heavenly Father, proclaiming to good and faithful servants, well done. Your rest is won. But I still miss Big Mama's hands, because Big Mama has some beautiful hands. And now we want to take a small break and we want to offer out to you. What poems do you have? No, I didn't see you up there singing a poem. Good poem.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, one of the students wrote one. They weren't too comfortable with reading it, so I'm going to read it for them. It's got to do with their sister passing. Touches a little bit at home as well, so if I choke up a little bit, excuse me, don't hold it against me. It's called No Return. And it's, where did you go that you can't return? Did you have to leave so that others may learn? Life is bitter without you, still after so long. My heart is still hurt and left without song. I never knew the heartache until you passed away. Now I'm wishing I could tell you everything I want to say. As I pour my heart out on these pages, tears pour out my eyes. Since you've been gone, I've realized how time flies. Your life was ended so short, with many years to go. What you became, what you would have became, I never will know. I remember the fights and regret so much. And now I see how many people you touched. You brought many together and kept them close. And your cheerful nature is what I will miss most. Why couldn't you stay and grow old with me? My sister, my blood, I can no longer see. No longer can I see you or hear your laughter. Why did you have to go so early, ending a chapter? You were my only true blood, and now that you're gone, I wish you could go back and change that.
I really commend him for coming up and doing that poem, because I have a poem about my brother that I carried with me that I'm not going to do it because I would choke up and fall apart. So I commend you a lot for doing that poem. I actually lost my brother 10 years ago. So, anybody else have a poem that they want to share?
Right.
This isn't something I wrote. It's actually an excerpt. What's the word? Excerpt from something my writing teacher presented us with, and he said, I can perform it. I never got the chance. Each intent fuller graduate. How can they spy rock outside of the restaurant? Quality pretends in a warrant name. With a negative machine quality, quality indulges a final belief. Quality tops. Restaurants trek against the show theory. Quality publishes the defeat. Quality disappears beside restaurants. A welcoming landlord strays above the food. The pressure bars restaurants near the literary tower. The rumored roundabout sustains quality. The generous mob compensates an angry scene. A governor puts quality into a rampant war. The restaurant quarters the swamped family behind anyway. Quality revolt. Will quality slide? Quality allies the fact. Restaurant lies without quality. Quality rages without restaurant. Restaurant links quality throughout the body. Why does restaurants interrupt without birthday? Mutual blog expands. Does the repentance ballet intervene before restaurant?
This is a poem that doesn't make any sense. Actually, it makes sense to you when you're hearing it. I always say there's two different arts. There's the art of writing poetry. Well, actually, three different arts. There's the art of writing poetry, the art of reciting poetry, and then the art of listening to it. And the listeners, actually, I find that to be the most important part, because Without listening, there's no reason for us to write.
Like, where does this all come from? Does it just come from what you're feeling, what you've been through? Like you just like off the fly, or is it? I just because I put stuff like I can put stuff together and all this other stuff. Where does it all come from? Just feeling and what you've been through in life.
Okay, I think the three of us will have three different answers, but I can say for me, I don't want to say like poets have an answer and then like.
I'm not trying to really
but for me, because I'm not a writer per se. Yeah, I was not the type that grew up and saying I always want to write something and I want to write the great American novel. And in fact, I always thought that English teachers were the devil. And if they handed me a writing assignment, like, oh, you truly are the devil. You worship the devil. I mean, I hated English teachers. The thing I found with writing was that it allowed me to express my own opinions when I got older. And I hated the images that were out there about, especially specifically black men. I hated the images. I hated the images that all of our fathers do. My mother and father have been married for going on 51 years now. So all of our fathers don't live. When I grew up, I saw these images about what goes on in the hood. Well, I grew up in the fruit belt and still live in the fruit belt section of Buffalo. So every image that I was seeing was opposite of what I was growing up with. Now, I'm not blind to all the other things that goes on. I'm not blind to drug dealing. I'm not blind to the gang violence and everything like that. But I said there's another story, and that other story was never being presented. And so that's the reason why I started writing and still write today. So, and then for me, it's specifically what's going on in my life, but also like what stories I hear or what stories I view. So like before they go through their last one, it's like
you guys get mad.
Well, for me, that's also influences. When you go out here on the road and like you say, go out there and say like, I have a poem about my grandmother. I love my grandmother. Thank you. Not going to score too many points. Just anybody else have a poem they want to share?
I didn't write it.
Yes, you did. She didn't write the poem. I just thought her single writing.
Don't laugh at me. Well, I'm a little nervous, kind of shy. This is from my sister. Okay. Love is like a piece of gold. You gotta show emotion. Hard to keep and hard to hold. Out of all the people I ever met, you're the one I can't forget. I do believe that God above created you for me to love. He chose you from all the rest because he knew I love you best.
I want to watch my brothers and my sister and be like, why you ever write poetry about me? And that was not written by her, but was in her handwriting. It was about her sister and it was her experiences. But it was not